friends, welcome to Mimi's Mixed Bag. I'm here on my back porch, one of my favorite places to be in the springtime, and today I'm participating in a fun collab. It's a really big collab with probably 25 or more channels, and it's April Showers Bring May Flowers. It is hosted by Mary Beth over at MB Gray Designs, and the only rule was to do at least one DIY using flowers. That was no challenge for me, and I come up with 3 simple ideas that you could do in an afternoon and bring a little spring decor into your home. So I'll get started and let me show you what I come up with. All right, the first project, I picked up a couple things from the Dollar Tree, and I was totally inspired by this new little spring design kitchen towel that says Home Sweet Home with the blue and pink flowers. Thought the graphic was so cute, I'm gonna recreate a 3D version of this graphic. Now, I didn't have any blue flowers, so that was the second thing I picked up, was a little blue turquoisey flowers. The rest of the stuff was just in my stash. Some pink flowers, a little plastic tub, an embroidery hoop, a lunch sack, and some brown ribbon. First thing I'm going to do is create my little brown pot. And I'm going to do this with just some trash. This is just a plastic tub I would have normally thrown away, but I'm going to cover it using a brown lunch sack. I cut the bottom out of the lunch sack, and now I just have a rectangle piece of paper, and I'm going to squeeze it together about 20 times. The more you squeeze it, the more the fibers in the paper break down, and it almost becomes like fabric. The paper becomes super soft, it gives you a crinkle texture, and I think it will emulate that wood look that the graphic has. I'm going to Mod Podge that lunch sack on this tub, and it should cover up all the blue words. Show you the back. It's still a little transparent, so I had enough out of one lunch sack to go ahead and put a second layer of paper on the front. This is a one-sided decor piece anyway, so the back really doesn't matter. But I ended up just using school glue over and under the crinkled paper, and I think it's going to cover it up just fine. All right, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my kitchen towel, and I'm going to fit this graphic in this embroidery hoop. I want the little screw at the bottom, and that's what it's going to look like once it's in the embroidery hoop. So I'm going to get that ready. And I just trimmed it off really nice and neat on the back. Now my bucket is dried and ready to go, and I just filled it full of some scrap styrofoam, and where my hoop touches the little bucket, I'm going to put a spot of glue just where it makes contact. I'm going to add some moss and some of the blue and pink flowers, and that will also help secure the hoop in place. I'm going to wrap the top and the bottom of my little bucket in the brown ribbon, and that will kind of emulate the little container on the graphic, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, for DIY number 2, I got the craziest inspiration from something unexpected. I was on Amazon and I was looking at the pop sockets, the little knobs that you put on the back of your phone. I saw this and thought, how pretty would that be for wall decor? Now, if you're like me, being a crafter, I have people all the time offering me craft supplies and things like that, and I just have a hard time saying no. A friend of mine gave me a big garbage bag of this beautiful rose garland, and I knew at some point, at some time, I would find a use for it, and today's project is it. So I'm going to make this big round floral thing to go above my little front fireplace, and I got a big scrap piece of cardboard, and I took a pen and a push pin and made myself a big 2-foot circle. So I'm going to cut that cardboard circle out. Now in the middle of the circle is going to have my initial. My last name starts with an N, and I have it pinned on a piece of styrofoam. And I'm going to try to cut out this sketched N to make it look like a stone letter. So the first 2 things I need to do is cut out my cardboard circle and paint it black. And then I'm going to try to chisel out this letter. But I know this is a lot of work for some. You can always just go buy a big wooden letter. They're found lots of places, but I thought it'd just be fun to try to make one out of styrofoam. All right, I wanted to come back just real quick and show you a little of the process of how I'm going to chisel out this N. I cut the N out of paper and pinned it in place, and then I'm going to take a fork and just go around and hopefully loosen it up away from the sheet of styrofoam, and it will look like it has been chiseled out of stone. We'll see. I've seen something done like this before, but not sure how they did it. All right, here are all my blooms cut off and arranged in color and size. I may or may not use all of them. I'll just see how they all fit on the circle. Now, I also save the greenery leaves that I don't use in projects, because every once in a while you'll just have a wreath or something that just needs some leaves underneath, and it's just the perfect thing to have. Now, I've got my initial dried and ready to go, and so it's just a matter of hot gluing everything on my black circle, and this project will be done. All right, my third DIY is going to be a cute fireplace spring banner. I've got a few paper craft tools here, my pink crocodiles. Those will punch holes through anything. I've got my paper cutter, glue stick. I've got a sheet of textured cardstock, some spring plaid paper, and my string for my banner is going to be a strip of lace. And I bought a couple things from the Dollar Tree. These postcard size canvas boards, you get 3 in a pack, and then a little bush of some spring flowers. Now with the 3 canvas boards, I'm going to spell the word May, M-A-Y. And those just happen to be some of the letters in our alphabet that no matter which way you turn them, they are still correct. So with that in mind, I was able to just put my plaid paper in my printer and then just print it on the back. And that way, when I cut them out, they will still be correct. I have software that will flip and reverse fonts, but I wanted to show you a way to do it if you didn't have that. So I'm going to cut out my plaid letters. I'm going to cut out my textured cardstock and cover my canvas boards first. All right, let me catch you up where I'm at now. The power actually went out about 15 minutes ago, but I think there's enough natural light here that you can see the project, and this project is so simple you can see what I did regardless. All right, I glued my background onto the canvas board. I fussy cut out the plaid letters and glued those on. I hole punched the top of each canvas board, and then I'm going to string it up with the lace first. When the power comes on, I will attach some florals to the top of each canvas board, and then it'll be ready to hang on my fireplace. I'll share all 3 projects. All right, friends, hour and 20 minutes later, my power's come back on, and I can share with you my 3 April shower Bring Mayflower projects. These were so fun and easy. Feel free to message me regarding any of these if you have any questions, and be sure and check out the playlist below. I'm sure you'll find lots of springtime inspiration. Hope you enjoy.